Why, hello there! How are you today? Awesome Soul here, and I have something that I figured most of you would be interested in, as the vast majority of you do seem to share the same taste that I have in games. So the game you are seeing on screen before you is a little game called SkyWanderers. It is a voxel-based construction game where you can basically explore the galaxy to your heart's content, and of course doing so along with other players like yourself. I should stress though that this is fairly early development, so some of the textures and player models you see before you are not exactly final. Now, I'm sure you've noticed by the visuals that this game resembles a certain other game that always gets compared to when it comes to any voxel-based game. But it's certainly not as blocky as you first would expect. As for starters, the terrain on the ring worlds that are currently implemented are not blocky, but they're rather smooth, which is quite nice. And on top of that, the amount of detail you can pack into your creations is pretty astounding. It's not just simply a single block, but rather you can get down to a tiny little 8x8 grid within the full block, meaning you can create things like pipes and hoses and grates and ladders, etc. Personally, I can kind of liken this game as a fusion between Space Engineers and StarMade. SkyWanderers kind of takes the best aspects from both of those games and brings them together to create what you see before you. Plus it brings some of its own things and also improves upon the other two games that I mentioned before. On top of that, the creator, yes, the creator, this game is so far made by just a single person. They say they've taken a lot of inspiration from LEGO, but also other series like Elite. So yes, for something that's not currently available wide scale to the public, this is looking incredibly impressive. And the first trailer I saw definitely blew me away. However, once I did a little bit more digging, I found that there is something that a lot of Robocraft fans will love. And of course, with my channel mainly focusing on Robocraft, you'll know that the community has wanted for a long time rotating platforms. And on top of that, they've also wanted more in-depth mech building controls. Well, this game absolutely delivers on that. SkyWanderers lets you build whatever mech you so desire, and when I say build a mech, I mean build it from nothing. You don't just strap on pre-made legs onto a chassis. No, no, no. You build the legs. You build the arms. You build the chassis, you build the head, and you build the cockpit. Of course, you can build anything else you want too, such as weapon systems, where you can design those to your heart's content as well. So far, the game lets you create two archetypes, soon to be three. The first is the Eastern style mech, which can basically be equated to Gundams and anything else from various mecha anime. The other style is the Western style, and that controls a lot more like a tank. Think Star Wars or Battletech, aka Mech Warrior. And the third, I've been told, is more of a quad-style mech. Think insects or, well, simply quad-legged mechs. The other thing I haven't really touched on are the various mechanism blocks in the game. So think rotors, sliding blocks, hinge blocks, and docking blocks. So if you want to dock two things together, say a spaceship and a space station, you can do that. And with those blocks, you can make things from landing gear, you can make sliding cockpits, you can make hatches that open and close, or weapon bays that slide out and slide back in for more protection. And for those that like to tinker around, there is a pretty expansive logic system in the game. Think of things like buttons, wireless links, and controllers with the and, or, delay, etc. commands built right in. Now, like I have said, this game still is in early development, but as I did allude to, there is, or rather was, access given out to early backers of Kickstarter. Unfortunately for myself, I only learned about this game recently, and the Kickstarter wrapped up only a little while ago. So sad to say, I will not be able to play this game on the channel for you, at least until it's available on Steam Early Access. Now, I know I did spend a fair amount of time in this video talking about mechs in what is a space game, but it's a lot more than just a space game. The developer has stated they're adding things such as tanks and also wheeled vehicles too. But currently, as you've seen, there are mechs, there are also hovercraft, and there of course are spaceships of various sizes, which I should make rather clear. You can build as big as you would like, and at least from what I've seen of all of the videos on the developer's channel, there has yet to be any problems with lag, which is very impressive. Now, before I close this out, I kind of would like to get into one last thing, and that was going back to talking about Space Engineers as well as StarMade. Both of those games were good for various reasons, but I also had my gripes with them. And both of the gripes that crossed over between them was a lack of things to do and a reason to do them. So what I'm really hoping for out of SkyWanderers is something that has a lot more of a solid grasp on what you need to do, sort of like an end goal, I guess we can say. However, there do seem to be plans on adding AI factions to the game, so perhaps going around and kind of defeating those as if they were bosses could be a cool idea. Of course, that's kind of a want, so that's not actually planned in the game. It might be, but as far as I'm aware, there is no information describing that. But yeah, with this game, it definitely seems like there's a lot of everything for everyone. If you wanted to use this game solely as a racing league, where you can get a whole bunch of friends together, you build a car and start racing around a ring world, go ahead and do that. Likewise, if you want to get a bunch of friends together, build some mechs, and start a mech fighting league, you could probably also do that. And of course, you can go ahead and take on the galaxy together with a whole bunch of friends. And I don't know about you, but I am incredibly excited for this. Though you do have to temper your expectations, as this game is not out yet, so don't get too hyped. Just make sure that you are keeping an eye on the development of this game. I know I certainly will be. Of course, if you would like to learn more about this game, I have left the links to their Twitter, their YouTube, as well as their Discord, which I am currently on as well. Make sure you head on over, check everything out, and tell them that Awesome Soul sent you. But anyways, with that guys, let me know what you think of this game. I of course have been the Awesome Soul. I thank you all so very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.